All right. Little throwback for everybody, 80s baby style, you know what I'm saying? Welcome on in. Welcome on in. It's another edition. It's your guy Benny Boone, here Hood Money. Hey, we out there. That's all I can say. We out there, everything went good last week. The picks was tremendous. As usual, I'm gonna have them stats for y'all, week 18. We're gonna see. We're gonna see how much winnings we did and how much man by one we man by one, man. We probably got about half of these things this season. But it's been a pretty successful season, we put another W on the board, another W, that's always good, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna go to the recap from last week. It was a short week last week, 13 games, called 11 out of 13, 4 parlays. You figure you would have 2 wins. Unfortunately, when you put the Bills twice on 2 parlays to get all that money, and Josh Allen breaks a record, 6 touchdowns, 3 rushing, passing, 3 passing, and still somehow they lose to the Rams. Don't know how that happened, but that ruined our parlay right there. Right there and right here. And then, of course, the Titans losing to the lowly Jaguars. That definitely at home, that was a tough one to take. It was definitely a tough one to take to ruin that parlay. If you was a round robin type of person, you would have won everything on the board. Because as you see, the third one was a winner. You know what I'm saying? Vikings, Niners, Buccaneers, and Lions pulled it out. Even though that's a push on the spread because it was -3. So, but still a winner. You know what I'm saying? But still a winner here on the over-unders. Like I said, everything hit on the over-unders except for my extra exclusive pick last week to go over. They went under. Couldn't get that garbage time touchdown at the end to go 4 for 5. But heck of an improvement on the over-unders. We're going to get into week 15. Week 15, it's a lot going on this week, you know what I'm saying? Kansas City looking to get that number 1 seed. A couple of teams lost last week to kind of, they distanced themselves. The Eagles and Vikings continue to do some winning, and the Packers fell off the pace a little bit to give to get the Commanders a chance. The Commanders got a chance. They're in the 7th spot. They might get to the 6th spot, depending on what it looks like this week. It's a lot of interesting games. It's a lot of crucial matchups, and let's go ahead and get into it. You know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and get into it once again. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere we go, the big boy goes. You know what I'm saying? Take that on in. Take all of that in right there. You know what I'm saying? I know it's a lot, but we're going to get into it. 4 for 4 guaranteed money weeks. If you did all guaranteed money weeks, you won six times out of them out of those 4 weeks. And so that'd be 6 out of the 4 weeks. That'd be 6 out of 16 of the parlays, which would be outstanding. All level weeks, we trying to get in there. We try and get multiple wins. We try and get you to them 18 wins. So let's get into it with tonight's matchup. Tonight's matchup is an interesting matchup featuring the Rams and the Niners. These are 2 teams that are still in the playoff hunt. AFC, there's been a lot of teams eliminated. NFC, really only 1 team. And of course, the Panthers are close to elimination, but only 1 team mathematically eliminated. So it's going to be wide open for the next couple weeks. The Niners can get back into this race with a win at home. The Niners have had some substantial injuries. The running back, McCaffrey, Mason, Ayuk, Kittle's been banged up here and there. Bosa, Williams, the list goes on and on. They did pretty much sustain themselves last week, getting back in that W column by beating the Bears. That wasn't that tough of a matchup for them. This would be a very tough matchup, even though they usually beat the Rams in San Francisco. LA usually gets them in LA, and they usually get them in San Francisco. However, as previously mentioned, the Rams, even though Josh Allen had a career day, MVP talent, led his team to almost getting that win, 42-44 was the score. A lot of points scored. Never count out Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford is a dog out there. That arm is lethal, and when he puts it together with those receivers and that running back and that offensive line, those tight ends, it could be dangerous. I'm going to take tonight. I'm looking for the Rams to keep it going. I mean, even if the Niners do, I mean, I like the Niners, but the injuries are too much. I mean, even if they were to win this game, I mean, the injuries would just overcome them in the end. They'll be playing a lot of second and third stringers. It just wouldn't work out for them. The Rams actually do have a chance. They definitely have a chance to get this W right here, and they will control their own destiny to the playoffs if they get that win. So I was going to take the Rams in the points because the Rams are not favored in this game because, like I said, their record in San Francisco. I'm going to take the Rams in the points. I'm looking for a close matchup there. All right, our next game features the Chiefs and the Browns. Chiefs was rolling right along last year, so they ran up against the Browns, and the Browns took them out. It was a tough defensive battle. The Mahomes couldn't get on track, and they suffered their first loss last season to the Browns. I'm sure Mahomes remembers that. The Chiefs, like I said, with 2 more wins, they should lock up the #1 seed because the Bills lost. They're actually a game and a half up. They don't want to be tied because the Bills are on the tiebreaker. The Chiefs have a tough schedule down the stretch, playing 3 games in 11 days. But if they win these next 2 games, they will lock up the #1 and won't have to really play those last 2 that tough, which is why I'm going to go with the Chiefs. I'm going to take the Chiefs to go on the road and avenge that loss from last year, and they get the Browns. They're struggling out there. The quarterback situation, people's champ. I mean, he throws a lot of picks. What can I say? That's why he's not a starting quarterback. Yeah, I like the Chiefs to get the Browns in this matchup. Our next matchup is the Bengals and the Titans. Bengals picked up a win against the Cowboys. Been good against the NFC, not so great against their own conference, which is why they were, even at 5-8, they really don't have a shot because the conference record is so bad. The tiebreakers, it just isn't. It doesn't look good for the Bengals. However, I don't believe that they know that they're basically eliminated. I think they'll be playing hard. I think T. Higgins and Jamar Chase will be ready. Chase Brown and them, they'll be ready to go on the defense. Also, they're going to give it a shot. You know what I'm saying? That's my thought anyway. The Titans, like I said, took a tough loss to the Jaguars. I mean, come on, you got to beat the Jaguars. I mean, you know, their starting quarterback is injured. They've been dealing with injuries all year, but you know they couldn't get it done. Looking to get it done against the Bengals, high-powered offense. I just don't see it happening. I'm going to take the Bengals to win that game. Our next matchup, we got Commanders. We got Saints. This is going to be a big game. This is going to be a big game this week because the Saints are not mathematically eliminated. The NFC South is still somewhat of a toss-up, even though it looks like the Buccaneers should secure it. But the Falcons actually have the easiest schedule going forward, and it looks like they'll at least end up with 9 wins. And so the Buccaneers will have to win 10 to actually beat them because of the head-to-head matchup. The Saints can be a dark horse, can be a spoiler. The Commanders, like I said, are 8-5. The Packers at 9-4, and the Commanders have the tiebreaker with the better conference record because they haven't played this year. So if the Packers were to lose and the Commanders were to win, they would take that 6th spot. Probably all the other spots out of reach just because of the records, but hey, you never know. So it's for that reason I would take the Commanders to win this game. I think they're going to be highly motivated. I think they play well. Marshawn Lattimore is going to debut against his old team. I think that'll be enough to push them over the top. However, I do not see them covering this spread. This is way too large of a spread for them on the road. So I would take the Commanders to win, but I'd take the Saints to cover that 7.5. Next game, the Ravens and the Giants. Ravens in that second spot out there in the north. You know, the Giants, like I said, Giants and the Raiders are going to be fighting for that #1 spot. So don't look for them to be doing too much. Drew Lock got injured last week. They'll be going back to DeVito. He's been playing uninspired as of late. The Ravens are just trying to keep pace with the Steelers. Hope they make some mistakes down the stretch, and they might still have a chance to win that division. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the Ravens. I know I don't like big spreads, but I look this for the Ravens winning this game by at least 20 points. The Giants don't have too much out there. They're working out some rookies. This game's going to get ugly fast. All right. Our next matchup is the Cowboys Panthers. All I want to know is what the hell is up with the line. You know, what was the bookie smoking? Was he drinking? What was he doing? Because I mean, the spread this is not a typo. This is the Panthers -3. Panthers are virtually eliminated with the record they have, but you know it's just a matter of games. Basically, they're next to last in the NFC the whole conference. The Cowboys at 5-8 still actually have a chance to maybe secure a playoff spot. Who knows? I'm predicting that the wild card spots in the NFC will be taken. You just need double-digit wins, but you know who knows? Maybe maybe it falls to 9-8, and if it did, then the Cowboys would be right there. They had a crucial loss last week. Panthers also lost. But the Cowboys did play the Bengals, and of course the Bengals have the #1 quarterback and #1 receiver in the league. Their record is an anomaly. I had to take the Cowboys to get back in the W column on the money line to take care of the Panthers. All right, this game, Jets, Jaguars, as I told you several weeks ago, when I did my second guaranteed money, and the one that didn't make it was Texans Jets, and I told you it was definitely cheating. We put a question mark on that game, you know what I'm saying? And the question mark seems to be upheld because, you know, that was the only win the Jets have in the past 9 games was the game that they viciously cheated, was leg whipping and holding and pass interfering up and down the field. And the refs just let them have the game. I don't know what that was, but now they're just this week after a couple of Thursday night games in which obvious face mask penalties were not called, and then they're now going to use the technology that they should have been using this whole time to get those calls right. So I like that. I like the idea. I like you should be able to use the updated technology to get the calls right, like they do in the other sports. So hopefully they'll be moving more to that and getting the calls right. I don't really like this game. I didn't take this game. I don't. Neither one of these teams are any good. If you just need to make a bet, something, I'd take the Jaguars plus the points at home, just because you know both teams are very bad. I think that the under is going to cash in on that one, so I'd probably do that more than I'd take the teams. All right, so our next game features AFC conference matchup is the Dolphins and the Texans. Texans are trying to secure that AFC South spot in the division. The Colts are kind of right on their heels, a little couple games out, but still right there. I mean, you know, if the Texans absorb some losses and the Colts win, the Colts have the easiest schedule remaining in the AFC. I see them and the Falcons both ending up with at least 9 wins because of the way their schedule breaks in the final month. The Texans should win this game at home. You know, the Texans don't really cover too many spreads. The Dolphins are fighting for the playoff lives. One more loss and they'll probably be eliminated or right on the brink of elimination. So they really need this game. They would be playing hard, and so I would take Texans to win in a close, high-scoring matchup in that game. All right, our next matchup, speak of the Colts, they're right there, and they'll be playing the Broncos. It's about 3 or 4 straight games that are big games right here, and we're going to try and navigate you through them. The Colts are, right now, they're right outside the playoff picture. They're actually right behind the Broncos, and like I said, if they could beat the Broncos, they most likely would finish with 10 wins. Nobody else on the schedule is too tough or near close to being playoff bound. The Broncos' schedule breaks a little tougher. If they win this game, they play the Chargers next week with a chance to get the second place in that division, and then they also play a couple of more tough teams in that next couple of weeks that they will have to take care of those teams too. So the Broncos really need this win, because if they were to lose, I would see the Colts probably creeping up, and then they would home the tiebreaker. So if they both finish with 9 wins, the Colts will get the tiebreaker. So I am taking the Broncos in this matchup. I like what Bo Nix is doing. I like what the coach is doing over there. He's got the team energized. Sean Payton, I'm back from the booth, out onto the field. He's got the players playing. He's got the rookie looking good. Darren Mile High, that's a big advantage in one of those stadiums. That is a big home field advantage. And I'll be rolling with the Broncos to take care of the Colts. All right, we got another big matchup featuring the Bills and the Lions. You know what I'm saying? It might be 100 points scored in that game. You never know. The Bills, Lions, both high-powered offenses. Defenses are steady. They're okay, but they're not really going to stop one or the other. I don't believe either way. I see a high scoring matchup here. The Bills lost last week to the Rams, and they also have a tough schedule ahead, even though they have clinched the division. They're looking to maybe hold on to that 2nd seed and not fall into that 3rd or 4th seed. And definitely not the 4th seed, where they have to play Kansas City in the 2nd round. The Lions have been moving right along. They've been winning every week. You know what I'm saying? Their win streak is extensive, double-digit win streak, and looking for more. So I believe they'll get it. They're at home. They got the crowd. They got the coach. They got the players. They've got a good replacement for Hutchinson on D and Smith. And I see the Lions and Jared Goff taking care of business and making that second place in the AFC really interesting, because I also, in this battle of Pennsylvania and our next big matchup, the Steelers and the Eagles, I also like the Steelers to go down. So that's why I'm saying the Chiefs could clinch in 2 weeks, because I see both the Steelers and the Bills losing this week, and they owning a 2.5 game lead with 3 games left. The Eagles have been rolling right along. Extensive winning streak themselves. Just came off a big win last week. The Steelers, so they got Russell Wilson out there. This is all I have to say about the state of the quarterbacks. You got like 1 or 2 good quarterbacks outside Patrick Mahomes right now. This vying for a playoff spot on not too much postseason experience. Russell Wilson will probably have the most postseason experience of any quarterback going in. And he has also been to the most Super Bowls of any quarterback that's going to be in his playoffs. But I do not think that the Steelers will get it done. It could happen because this is a rivalry game, in-state rivalry. Those games are crazy, which is why I would not take those points. I would take the Eagles on the money line, or I would take the Steelers to cover those points in a close game. All right. We've got Patriots. We got Cardinals. Cardinals are trying to sneak back into the West. Gave them credit last week for a win. They actually lost to the Vikings by 1 point. Sorry about that. And so they're on a 3-game losing streak. They were at first place. Now they're struggling, trying to get back in it, get back to first. They're playing the Patriots, the hapless Patriots. Patriots don't put up too many points every week. They're still working out some kinks there with the rookies and the rookie quarterback. Looking for Kyler Murray to bounce back. They lost 3 straight. They still looking to make that NFC West really interesting coming down the stretch. Rams Seattle will be a big game, Week 18, most likely to decide that division. It's going to be tough all the way through, and so for that reason, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the Cardinals to win that game. All right. Our next matchup is another big matchup. It's the Buccaneers, the Chargers. The Buccaneers have been on the road lately, winning 4 straight games. The Chargers absorbed the loss last week to make that AFC West race for second place very interesting. Both teams are looking real good right now. The Chargers would like to get back in the W column, and the Buccaneers would like to stay there. Buccaneers are pretty much healthy now, except for Goodwin, and the Chargers as well. They look for this to be a close game. I look for this game to also be low scoring, and I would take the Chargers. I take the Chargers simply because they were at home. If the Buccaneers lose this game, though, the Falcons could slip in there and win that division because of the tiebreaker. And like I said, they don't really play any tough teams down the stretch except for the Commanders, and that also will be a big game on week 17. That might actually see if the Buccaneers actually do win that division. But if they were to win that game, they would keep be number one in that division for another week. Our next game is the Packers and the Seahawks. It's going to be an interesting game. Packers absorbed the loss last week. Looked like they could pull it out. They hung real tough with the Lions there to the end. Lions ended up getting that victory to extend their winning streak. They've been good. They've been good at times. They've been solid at times. Jordan Love has shown me a lot this year. So Jordan Love has definitely improved this year. I think he has that offense humming. Those young receivers that were rookies last year have really acclimated to the game. They're putting up points in bunches. The Seahawks are an interesting team. They are the only team to not have a loss on the road. They're excellent on the road, but they are one of the teams with the best home field stadium advantages, and they are actually below 500, and which is why their record sits where it is, tied with the Skins. I see the Packers coming in there and beating them because they're not taking advantage of that 12th man down there, and I look for the Packers to get back in the W column. I look for that race in the West to tighten up. It's going to be tight the next month. Yeah, definitely, for sure. The next game, and we got the Bears going and playing in the Dome against the Vikings. Vikings have been winning, doing a lot of winning lately as well. Sam Darnold has impressed everybody. Didn't think he'd actually do the things he's doing, but they're not looking to extend him. They think that it's more of a product of what they put around J.J. McCarthy. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting because if he makes it to the Super Bowl, then you have something to look at there. But if he loses in the first round, then they're probably right. This is actually the first year he's actually been good. But they'll be playing the hapless Bears, who just can't get it together after starting the season off strong. The quarterback play was shaky. I told you since week one. That's why you just don't go with the Bears this year. You got to make sure what they got in Williams. And from what I can see, it's not much. I'm so glad my team didn't draft him. I'm so glad the other team before us drafted him. And I'm so glad we drafted who we drafted, because we seemed that if it wasn't for him, we would have got Knicks, hopefully. But it seems like that worked out for us, not so well for the Bears. They will be getting another top 10 pick, looks like, this year. And I'll be taking the Vikings to handle business at home. All right, we got the Monday. Oh, well, that's the first Monday night game. And the second Monday night game, it's two Monday night games tonight, Monday night, and that'll feature the Falcons and the Raiders. Like I said, the Falcons don't play anybody with a winning record except for the Commanders going forward. The Raiders, they absorbed another loss to Tampa Bay. Like I said, couldn't get that last touchdown to get us that over-under all the way, clean sweep money. We'll be looking for the Falcons to go in there and take care of business because they are trying to win the South. I don't know how they beat Tampa Bay twice, but they have, and so they own their tiebreaker. And so if they just continue to beat the teams they need to beat, they most likely have a good chance to win that division. For the Commanders, we would need the Buccaneers to win the division, and for us to also beat the Falcons. This would be mandatory to make the playoffs. All right, so here we go. Here we got it for you today. You know what I'm saying? Parlays, like I said, parlay guarantee is out the window because all the games going to be tight and all the finishes going to be wild. So hopefully we can get us in there and get the wins we need to hit my benchmark. You know what I'm talking about? All right, so the first one, parlay one, features the Eagles on the money line, the Broncos on the money line, the Falcons on the money line, and we going to go with the Packers with the spread. All right. Our second parlay is the Saints with the spread, the Cowboys with the money line, the Vikings with the money line, and the Cardinals also on the money line. All right, that parlay 3 for you is Texans on the money line. You got the Rams on the spread. We got the Chiefs with the money line, and we threw the Bengals on the spread there for you. You know what I'm saying? And so for our fourth parlay, we got the Commanders on the money line. We got the Chiefs on the money line. We took the Steelers in the spread, and then we went with the Packers in the spread, and then we went on ahead and we took the Lions in the spread. You know what I'm saying? We just spread it out in that last parlay because that's what it's looking like. So it's looking like for that. So for our over-unders, we got the under on the Cardinals-Patriots game. We got the over on Seattle and Green Bay. We got the over on the Lions and the Bills. We got the over on the Commanders and the Saints. And we went with the under on the Jets and the Jaguars. Don't look for too many points in that game. Probably want to skip it. Probably do want to skip it. All right, so that's what we got for this week. You know what I'm saying? Another win, like I said. We had the stats for you week 18. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna come back with and the playoff matchups because that's what we really like to let you know what's going down. Because a lot of people think the Lions are going to the bowl, and I'm gonna let you know right now it's not gonna happen. So it's all about right now getting this Eagles money. You know what I'm saying? Because the Eagles right now is kicking ass and taking names, and we're gonna be harping on that for the next month and a half, unless it's a crucial Jalen Hurts collapse. And let's hope that doesn't happen again. Let's hope that doesn't happen again. Let's hope that we collect these wins, and let's hope we go ahead and go back and get it again. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what we do at Hood Money. We get these W's, and that's what's good. You know what I'm saying? Signing off here. It's your boy Benny Boone, Hood Money. Like, subscribe. Go ahead and do your thing, and yeah, let's get this money.